Hi, welcome back. Happy Thursday. I'm going to be getting started right away. I'll talk through it, but what I'm going to do to get started is use some under eye patches underneath my eyes. My eyes right now, I don't know if I have allergies, if I have a slight cold, what it is, but my eyes are like puffy and irritated, and you can I don't know, they've been itchy today. So anyway, actually the last few days. So now I'm going to start with that underneath my eyes before I do any makeup. So this is a tip for you. If you ever feel like your eyes are puffy and annoying and irritated, or you have a cold, or you have allergies. I know I get allergies a couple of times a year too, so that very well could be it as well. But if you ever feel like that, always add some under eye patches underneath your eyes. They make a huge difference. They're gonna make your eyes just feel more refreshed, look more refreshed too. So I'm just putting those right underneath my eyes, and I'm going to do some of my makeup with them on, which is awesome. I love that. So especially like if I'm doing, I don't know, makeup for like I'm going to somebody's wedding or something like that, I'll totally put these underneath my eyes just so they have the most refreshed look after I am applying them. So anyway, eye patches on first, and these are the Hydrogel Eye Patches. I love these. If you've never tried these, try these out. They're incredible. There are 30 pairs in here, so they last you a long time. They just make your eyes feel so hydrated and rejuvenated. So, and they take away that puffiness too. So, helps with the dark circles, all the things. So anyway, we're going to leave those on while I do my eye makeup. I'm going to do a little concealer first because I'm going to use my concealer as well, one I'm going to use on my face. I told you guys, I posted about it, but I'm pregnant, so now I can tell you why I have missed a couple lives, first of all, and also why I have some really bad hormonal acne. So as you guys hop on, tell me hi, let me know you're watching. I'm using my concealer right now. I'm just going to use a little bit on each of my eyes for the base for my eyeshadow, and I'm using it underneath, kind of on any place that you have discoloration or pigment issues, you can use this. So I did miss a couple of weeks of lives throughout just because my skin was so bad. I have really bad hormonal acne. So that is something that I have always had my entire life. So if you also have hormonal acne, you completely understand. But anyway, so I'm using this concealer. It has been literally a game changer though. The old concealer, hi Heidi, hello, thanks for joining me. I just always apply when I'm doing the concealer in my eyes. I just use my finger. I think it's the easiest way to do it. I put it right up underneath my eyebrow and I just kind of blend this out. This is going to give you that really good base for your eyeshadow. I love using concealer underneath. It's something I learned when I was doing wedding makeup, and it's something that I have done for myself ever since because it makes a huge difference. But anyway, so I have always had bad acne. I mean, if you followed me for a while, you might know that that's how I started Mary Kay, was because I put a little bit too much on the side. That's okay, we're gonna blend it out. That's why I actually started Mary Kay, is because I had cystic acne, and I tried the Clear Proof set, and it helped a ton with my cystic acne. And before that, I had tried all the things, and nothing had worked. So anyway, I've always struggled with acne in general, but with my hormones, oh my goodness, it was so bad. Anyway, this concealer though, these new concealers and the under eye correctors, the multi-benefit, they just launched this month for the public, but I have been using them for, I don't know, I think I got it maybe early August is when I started using them. So they have been literally a godsend. I've been so happy. Our old concealers did not cover nearly like these. So you're going to see as I use this concealer all over, it literally covers all the redness, all the spots. So I love them. They came at a perfect time, and I have been absolutely obsessed with these concealers. So if you're looking for a new concealer in your life, these concealers are incredible. They're hydrating and they just blend out really well. I mean, you can see that. Look at how much of a difference that made in my chin. Absolutely crazy. So I always use them on my eyelids though for the eyeshadow. So it's kind of like the prep before we get started. So I'm just kind of patting this out, making sure that it's blended. But as you guys hop on here, tell me hi, let me know you're watching. tell me you're here. If you're just hopping on, I have eye patches on too. So I have some allergies or a cold. Something's going on. My eyes are so itchy. So these eye patches are going to help with that puffiness too. So I'm going to I put that concealer on and now we can do the eyeshadow. All right, so I am going to do a full face again tonight. So I'm going to be doing, I started with you from the scratch, and I'm going to be doing the rest of my makeup with you. So tonight we're going to feature some more of these brand new products. So hi Marianne, hello. So these brand new products are awesome. These new fall items, so great. My link is actually in the description. So after this video, if you're like, I really want that palette that she covered tonight, make sure you grab it off my website. The palettes as well as the tinted lip balm that I'm going to use and the cheek color that I'm going to use are all limited edition. So make sure you grab them while supplies last. You never know how long these are going to stay in stock when they're while supplies last or the limited edition stuff. So make sure you grab them while you can. But these are the two palettes. Last week I showed you this one. And this one's so pretty. I love this one. I've been using it a ton. It's got just beautiful warm colors in it. This week I'm going to show you the other one, which is also really pretty and fun. Very trendy colors. So we're going to use this one tonight. Super pretty too. So tell me which one do you like better. The first one that I showed you with kind of those warm colors, here we go again. This one's called Inner Fire. And then this one that we're going to use tonight, and if you want to see the replay on that, you can catch it on my YouTube channel. I have the replay posted because on Facebook they go away now. I think it's probably still up right now, but they go away really quickly. After I think 30 days they go away. But this one that we're going to use tonight is called Outer Glow. And it's got those like bright trendy colors in it. So they're both $40, like I said, limited edition. So only while supplies last. All right, so now I've got that concealer on. Just make sure I don't have any excess and we can go ahead and get started. I'm gonna use just a couple of brushes. I'm going to be using 3 tonight. So we're going to use the eye smudge brush, which is this one, and that's going to give you like the really dark pigment. We're going to use the eye blending brush, which is the fluffy brush, and then this one is the all over eyeshadow brush. So, and also make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know you're watching. That gets you entered in to win my weekly giveaway. So today I'm actually going to be picking my giveaway winner from last week. So if you watched last week's live or you commented on last week's live, you're going to be able to get yourself entered in to win. I told you I'm giving away a tinted lip balm. So it's a really good gift from last week. So if you were one of those people, I'm going to post the winner tonight. I usually just message you guys and tell you who won, but, or message the winner. But I think what I'm going to start doing is posting it here so then you can message me and claim your gift. So make sure you stay tuned on this page. I'm going to make a post tonight after this video and it will be for the winner from last week. But get yourself entered in to win so you can enter today through next Thursday, which I think is the 25th. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, so September, I think 25th. So you can enter tonight through then for next week's giveaway. And again, let's do another tinted lip balm. I'll do the other color. So tonight I'll give away either the pink or the coral, and then next week I'll give away the other color. So enter yourself to win by commenting down below. And if you share the video, tell me you shared it and that will double your entries. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to, I love these colors. I think what I'm going to do, I do recommend always using your eyeshadow first. So as you can see tonight, I don't have any foundation on it or anything yet. So we're going to do the eyeshadow first and then you do the foundation. The main reason I say that is because then you collect any fallout afterwards before you are applying your foundation. So I always do my eyeshadow first. Highly recommend that. But let's start. I'm going to do a base. We're going to take the all over blending brush first. And I'm going to pick up this kind of like light gray color. Hey, Michelle. Hello. Got new eyeshadows. All right, so I'm going to put that right here. Kind of like, so it's so funny. The pigment is so much darker when you use the concealer. It is crazy. It's so much better. So it's funny. Last night I did a live showing these. And the pigment, and that's super messy. That's okay. This is the base color that we are getting started with. That's all right now. So last night though, hey Joey, hello. Thanks for joining me. Hi Barbara. So glad you guys are on. What do you think about these palettes? Do you love them? This is the one we're using tonight, the Outer Glow. So last night though, I showed these palettes and I did not use concealer underneath my eye. It took me a while to get like the pigment to show up. I had to put on a couple of layers. So the concealer makes a huge difference because it's kind of got that, like, I just applied it, so it's got that little bit of a tacky feel to it. It's gonna actually hold the color on better, and it makes it brighter because everything is the same color, so you're not combating any like veins that you have on your eyes or any discoloration. It makes a huge difference. So make sure you're using concealer. This is, if you watched my live last night, like this is literally night and day difference. All right, so we used this one right here, which is kind of that, it's called Smoke and Taupe. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, that does make a difference. Those look so pretty. They're so pretty. So this one is the Outer Glow, and then this is the other one. Let me show you guys this one too. If you watched my live last week, you saw this already, but I'm going to show it again for you, those of you who are on right now. This is the Inner Fire. It's so beautiful. I love the warm colors. I've been obsessed with that palette. I actually really like combining them too. I think they're very pretty together as well. All right, so now I think I'm going to use, we're going to go with, well, you could go purple here. This purple's really, really pretty. I also love this copper color, but I'm going to use this one too. This reminds me of Granite. Like an old, we just retired Granite recently. But anyway, this reminds me of that color right there. So I want that color to kind of go in the inner corner of my eye. So I think I'm going to go with the purple because I like this color combination. So let's see, we're going to do this one, and this one. So these three together right here. And if I want a brighter color after that, I might add in the color from the other palette. But we'll see. We'll get there. Hi, Echo. Thanks for joining me. All right, so I am using the purple color now on top of that gray. Look how pretty that is. I'm going to show you on my wrist too what all of these look like because you can't really get a good look at how they look when I'm using them on my brush like this. But you can really see it on it like in person. And I'm gonna have to get some of this color off too to blend this a little bit better. They're so pigmented though, although it just stays. But hang on, let me get a little of this off here so I can blend them a little better. This is a little bit of a harsh line up here. We don't want that. Actually, maybe I'll use this other brush. Hang on. I always just bring a towel so I can wipe them. Then you don't have to switch your or you don't have your colors blend quite as much either. So I'm just kind of following right along that line just to kind of soften it a little bit. We just don't want that to be a super harsh line right there. So same thing on this side. I'm going to kind of use my finger just to get any excess off, and then I'll blend it. All right, and that'll keep blending out too as we go. But I'm going to use next, hang on. Again, the concealer though makes a world of difference. I actually want to use a little bit of a darker color underneath, but I'll wait until I pull my eye patches off, and then we'll use the smudge brush with this dark purple right here. This looks almost gray. It's actually a dark purple. All right, next though, I'm going to take, so you can see it's just got like a hint of purple up there. Let me show you on my wrist though. I did say I was going to do that. They're like almost, they're shimmery and like glittery. It's hard to describe what they look like. That's why I'm just going to show you what they look like. So I'm just gonna, this is the purple. Like they're just, it's so pretty. Look at that. Like it's got like a glow to it almost. It looks nothing like any other eyeshadows that we've had before. I love how it has like almost like a, I don't know, like a metallic-y glow. Maybe that's what it is, like a frosted glow. I don't even know what to say about them, but they're so pretty. So hang on, I'll show you all the sparkles. The matte ones are just, they're matte. And it's kind of like the gray that I showed you, and then a really dark purple. This one is the grayish color. It's got like a hint of purple to it though, so it's not just gray. You can see it's got that like hint of purple. And then last we have this pretty gold. The cool thing too, you can pop these out of the palettes. You do not have to leave them in the palettes. You can pull them out. They're magnetic. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. So what do you think about these colors? Like, aren't they beautiful? They look a little bit different than you'd think, I think, out inside the palette versus actually on. So there you go. You get like a good visual of exactly what they look like. And look at that shine. So pretty. All right. Does shimmer make an older woman look older in their 50s? That's a great question. I think it is. Thank you, Lori. I think it totally depends on preference. I don't believe that about everybody. I think that, like I said, it totally depends on preference. If you feel more comfortable using mattes, use mattes. But I think that shimmers can be beautiful on people over 50 as well. So I don't think, I've heard that too so many times, but I think it's kind of a stereotype. I don't think it always is accurate. All right, we're going to use the gray now. And I'm going to put it kind of like right on my lid and in the inner corner a little bit. If you really wanted to make this pop, really make it lighter, you could always add a little bit more concealer. I'm just going to kind of blend that out. Okay. So now it's kind of cooled down with that little bit of a gray. I am going to use, I think, the white color from the other palette in the inner corner. And it's always funny when you start with the eyeshadow, it looks a little goofy, so it's going to look better as we continue on. Once the rest of your face gets put together, I feel like it all comes together a little bit better too. So hang tight, wait for the end. It's going to get better. Look at how, like, I love the shimmers though. So this gray, I told you, like, in the palette, it totally looks like granite, but in, like, on, it actually has this, like, purple shimmer to it. So love that. Okay, so I'm going to take from the other palette, so the Inner Fire, I'm going to use this bright white color. I'm just going to pick up a little of that and put it in the inner corner. So that's just going to highlight it a little bit more. So again, I think that these palettes you can use together. You do not have to keep them separated. All right, there we go. So that's the eyeshadow look for right now. I'm just gonna blend it a little bit. So I'm gonna make sure I don't have any excess eyeshadow on my brush. And then I'll just kind of blend this out. Make sure we just don't have any harsh lines. All right, now let's go ahead, pull these eye patches off. I'm gonna use my under eye corrector, and then we will add that little bit of that extra eyeshadow too. I love these eye patches. They make such a big difference. They always just like puff your eyes back up. It's crazy. They help with the dark circles. They help just making everything feel more hydrated too. I used concealer before. If you just topped on, I used a little bit of concealer down here just because I put it on my eyes too. So we did it all at the same time. So that's why if you're like, why is that different color? It's because I put my concealer on already, which I can't speak highly enough about the concealer and the under eye corrector. They're amazing. So much better than the last formulas. I think just because they have that multi-benefit in there, so they really have like a lot of hydration, and I've loved that. All right, I'm gonna take my eye smudge brush, which is gonna be more packed together, so it's gonna give you a cleaner look, and it's also gonna be like more pigmented. I'm gonna put it right, actually I'm gonna use my mirror, right along this lash line. Just to kind of like smoke out this eye look, and it's gonna help just make it a little bit more dramatic too. So you can always leave this off if you do not want to. You can always tone down what I did today too. You can do just a little bit of that gray in the beginning, and then you can add that purple, or you could just do the purple by itself with that little bit of the lighter gray. Either way, that would make it a lot less, like maybe more of an everyday look. This is kind of like almost like a smoky purple eye. So what do you think so far? Now we're gonna do the under eye corrector. A little bit goes a long ways too, so you do not need very much. That was actually probably too much. You'll get used to it as you use it a little bit more. It's harder when I'm on camera because I can't see exactly how much I'm putting on. I'm gonna use just my foundation brush, my liquid foundation brush, to blend this out. So I'm gonna get it right underneath my eye, right below where I just applied that eyeshadow color. and you can even use your finger to make it, to get it exactly where you want it to be. We're gonna use foundation over this too, so it's okay. This is the light peach color. We're gonna give that nice crisp line on the outside as well. As you guys are hopping on, make sure you say hi. Let us know you're here and you're watching. All right, so same thing on this side. It is amazing though. This kills the peach color, kills that dark circle. So it's getting rid of any kind of dark circle that I have underneath my eyes. It's also just brightening everything up. It makes a huge difference. I love under eye corrector. One thing I liked about this is that now there's 2 shades. So there's one that's the light peach, which is the one that I just used, and then there's also a deep peach. If you have more of a darker beige skin or a bronze skin type, that's gonna be better. All right, so we got that under eye corrector on, just kills the dark circles. Now we can go ahead and put a little foundation on. I have been wearing, this summer I wore beige N200, but since it's not summer anymore, I'm not quite as dark as I was. Had a better tan this summer than I do now. So, but I'm getting close to finishing that bottle. So what I do instead of switching out my entire foundation and throwing that away is I just add a lighter color to it. So this would be like my winter color, and I just add them together just so that I can continue to use both of my colors. We don't want to waste any, so I just kind of mix them. And that's Ivory, and 160 is the one that I usually use during the winter time. All right, so I'm just gonna blend this all out, and you can see where I had the concealer before, it just blends right over the top. I also put this right over. The concealer's incredible. I am a huge fan of the concealer and the under eye corrector. Those, when they first said that they were reformulating them, I don't know, every time they say they're reformulating, I'm always like, oh my goodness, I get a little nervous. It's funny because every single time it's been reformulated, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love the new formula for anything. But I always get nervous. I'm like, oh, I hope I'm gonna like it. Just because, you know, your makeup and your skincare is such a big deal, right? So you never want it to change, because once you find something you like, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want it to change. But they've all been such good changes, which I have really appreciated. This one specifically, the old concealer and the old under eye corrector, I know I had a ton of comments about this on my last live, so I'm gonna address it here, is the new ones like cakey, and do they like crease throughout the day? And I can honestly say that they do not crease like the last ones at all. I used to experience that as well with the old concealer. I didn't really use concealer a ton before. I used it on my eyes for the eyeshadow, but I didn't really use it a lot to cover up like acne or anything like that, just because it did end up creasing a little bit more under my makeup. So I would use it a little bit if I had something really discolored. But this one, I have literally used this every day I've done my makeup since I've gotten it, just because the formula is so much better. That like multi-benefit has that hydrating in there, so it's not creasing and it's not caking, which I'm a really big fan of. Okay, so I'm just blending this out now. I always bring the extra down my neck to make sure that it's blended. You can also bring it right on your ears, again, just making sure everything's nice and blended out. Now I'm at the point where I've just applied the liquid foundation. I always use finishing spray here. I like to use it a couple of times when I'm doing my makeup. It just locks your makeup in so much better. So I use it after I've used all the liquids. Now I'm gonna put powder on here in just a second. So I like to like lock everything in first, and then afterwards apply like some powders and things like that. And then at the very end, I use my finishing spray one more time. So I think layering it can make a big difference. I'm gonna use, okay, I need to try this concealer. Oh, yeah, dark circles. So if you're talking about dark circles under your eyes, the under eye corrector, absolutely. Laura, you'd use the light peach. You'd love it. And concealers too. Like if you have dark spots, so I know some people get like aging spots, or like I have like, you know, acne spots. You can cover it so well with the concealer. So concealer is going over or under foundation, under your foundation. You could apply it over the top of your foundation if you want, but I always apply it underneath my foundation, and then I put my liquid foundation on afterwards. So what I did today is kind of what I do typically. I put my concealer on, I'll let it sit for a few minutes while I do like my eye makeup, and then I go back and I'll put my foundation on afterwards. Hopefully that helps. I just curled my eyelashes because we're just, yep, the under eye corrector. Yes, you'll love that. So just since I was letting that dry for a second after I used the finishing spray, curl my eyelashes, let's use, actually we'll use this first. So I'm going to use the gel cream blush. There's 4 colors of this. They're really pretty. I showed all 4 in my last live. But this one, I'm going to use, last live I did the coral one, which I'm loving the coral colors. I think that they're all beautiful. But this one we're going to go, this is the Passionfruit. So it's a little bit more of like a pink color. I think it's going to look really pretty with this purple eyeshadow though. Okay, I think I just added way too much there. So hang on, let's blend this out and see if I need to put some on the other side. That is one thing, you do not need much. It goes a long ways, so this is a good amount over here. So a little bit goes a long way. It blends out really nicely. So I'm just adding this right along my cheekbone here. You can see it's got like a hydrated glow to it. Okay, so it's not too dark. The passion fruit color is not super dark. It's a little bit lighter, which I really like. When I first got it, I like saw the pink and I was like, oh, that's really bright. But it blends out beautifully, which I am a big fan of. So I'm going to take a little bit more of this and put it back over here just to kind of layer a little bit more on. I just have been using my fingers for this though. I think it blends out really well using your finger, and then you can always, after it dries, so I do give it a minute before I blend it out with a brush. I will take a brush afterwards and just kind of make sure that I got it all blended well. Okay, so this one again is the Passion Flower. What do you think about this? Again, we're gonna blend it here in just a minute, but it's got like a really pretty glow to it. So if you like a cheek or a gel or a cream blush, these are really fun. Not everybody likes gel or cream. Some people prefer powder, and that is totally a preference thing. So if you like the gel cream, try these out. One tip I have for you is when you buy them, they come, let me show you. Hang on, let me just wipe off the excess here. Okay, so they come with this like little silver, I don't even know what I would call that. It like, the like, the safety thing, you know, you pull these off so that you get to the product. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, it's on the outside, but don't actually pull it off. Too much product comes out. So just take your earring and poke a hole here, and that is going to allow just a little bit of the product to come out, because you just need a little bit. A little bit goes such a long way. So you don't need too much of that product. Just a little bit goes a long way. So just poke an earring hole in the back, and that's gonna work wonders for you. All right, I'm gonna give this still just a second before I blend this. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna put my tinted lip balm on. There's 2. Last week I used the coral. This week I'm gonna use the radiant pink. I have been loving this. This has great pigment to it. It's just a tinted lip balm, but it smells really good. It feels super hydrating too. Stays on well, and it has jojoba oil in it and almond oil, so it's going to keep your lips super hydrated all day long, which I love. I am a sucker for anything. I'm going to just do my mascara while I talk about this, but I'm a sucker for anything that can give me hydrated lips. I feel like I'm constantly grabbing for lip balms, or like even that lip oil that we had for a little while. I loved that lip oil this summer. So this is kind of the same thing. It's going to be super hydrating, but it gives you a nice pretty color as well. So like I said, last week I used the coral, love it. But this week is the little bit of a darker one. So the coral is a little bit lighter, and this radiant pink one is so pretty too. So what do you think about it? Would you wear that on your lips? And again, it's a tinted lip balm, so it's not intimidating. It's not a lipstick. It's a tinted lip balm. All right, and this is the Lash Fanorama mascara. I love this stuff. I rarely deviate away from it. I do like the new Great Heights mascara too, so that's also worked its way into my rotation. I rotate back between the two, but this one is just my all-time favorite mascara. Yes, poking a hole makes a huge difference, Jamie. Huge difference. It just, so much less comes out. I actually learned that, so if you've been a customer of mine for a while or watched my lives for a while, we had something very similar to these launch. It was a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago. They were gel cream blushes as well. I do think this formula blends a lot better. I think that the ones that we had previously, it was very similar to this, but I do feel like they didn't blend quite as well as these do. These ones I found have blended really, really easily, very user-friendly. So if you're nervous, because I know sometimes it's a little intimidating when you see something like gel like that, but don't be, because these have blended super well. I mean, you saw me use it with just my finger and it blended out really well. But anyway, we had those a few years ago, and I remember when I first opened it, I was like, holy cow, so much product came out. It was so hard to manage it. So I learned to poke a hole in it, and I was like, game changer. You just get so much less. You can always add more. It's way harder to take away, but you can always add more. All right, we're just gonna do one last coat here of my mascara. And then we'll blend out the cheeks. So you can add a little bit of powder too if you want. You don't have to. But I'm just going to take my all over powder brush and just kind of blend out this blush. So you can see just no harsh lines. We just want to make sure that it's nice and blended. It looks natural. And then if you do want to add a little bit of powder, I use matte foundation, so I don't really need to add a ton of powder. But if I did want to add a little bit, I'm going to just take my brush and just kind of like add it where you want it. So I'm just going to put a little on my T-zone and a little underneath. And then that's it. So then I always finish my makeup look with the makeup finishing spray. I actually usually apply it before my mascara, or I wait a few minutes after I put my mascara on, just to prevent, if you spray it and you like close your eyes too hard, you'll get mascara under your eyes. So don't do that. Wait a couple minutes after you have sprayed that or put that on. So anyway, that's tonight's live. So tell me what you think down below. What do you think about these colors? What do you think about the palette that we used tonight? It was a little different than the palette that we used last week. And again, if you want to order any of these items, they are limited edition right now, but they are really fun. They're not going to last forever, so grab them while you can. And like I said, the palettes are $40 each. The tinted lip balms are $20 each. And then the cheek colors are $20 each. So, and make sure you leave a comment down below. Get yourself entered in to win my weekly giveaway. And I'll see you guys back here next week. Bye.